Good. Ready to start? Hi. All right, everyone. Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. It is, well, it was hot and sunny today earlier, but now it's hot and cloudy, and I think we're going to get some rain, but that's okay. Doesn't matter if it rains or shines, it's still Shabbat, and here we are. We have Elizabeth right here, and she is going to bench licht for us. She's going to light the candles, and we're on page 2.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Okay, thank you. All right, friends, let's continue. Page 9. Page 9, and let's read responsibly. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. There are days when we act as if we care nothing for the rights of others. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. All right, let's jump ahead to page 20, Lecha Dodi, and this evening, verses 1, 2, 3, and 9. 1, 2, 3, and 9, pages 20 and 21. 22 for some verses from Psalm 92, the Psalm for Shabbat. Let's read the outdented paragraph together in English. A psalm for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. With a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together, you have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Page 24, Shalom Aleichem. All right, please rise. Page 146, Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. You may be seated. Page 147, let's read together in English. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv Ahavim. Page 148, let's read responsibly in English. In each age we receive and transmit Torah At each moment, we are addressed by the world.
In each age, we are challenged by our ancient teaching. At each moment, we stand face to face with truth.
In each age, we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment, the knowing heart is filled with wonder.
In each age, the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levacha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol meyodecha, v'hayu advarim ha'eleh, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'beitecha, uvlechtecha b'derech, uv'shoktecha uv'kumecha, uv'shartam le'od al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, uv'taftam al mezuzot beitecha, uv'hisharecha, leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'yitem kedoshim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 151, let's read responsibly in English. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all.
Yet that oneness eludes our grasp as imperfection and evil abound.
Before our eyes, there's a vision of perfection, order, and goodness.
There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul.
When will redemption come?
When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves.
Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
We learned God's presence redeems time and event. So we celebrate this power that makes forth freedom.
Top of 152. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nohara tehilo, o sefer eleh, malchutecha ra'u banecha, bokeyam lifnei Moshe, Ze'eli anu v'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar kifat Adonai et Yaakov, u'galo mi'at chazak mimenu, baruch atah Adonai, ga'al Yisrael. Top two lines on 153, Ashkivenu. Let's read together in the English. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, V'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Page 154, it's not Shabbat without it. This Shamru. Please rise, page 155, the opening of the Amidah. Adonai sivatai tikva, ufiadi tilatecha. Adonai sivatai tikva, ufiadi tilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, and my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. El Haggadol Hagibur Hanura, El Yod, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Chomer Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imamot, U'Mehi Goel Lifnei Bneihem, L'man Shemo V'Yahava, Melech Ozer Mashiach L'Madeh, Baruch atah Adonai, Mani Avraham, Yitzhak Sarah. Hagibur Adonai, Mechaye Beiti Matara L'Hoshia, Mori Hatal, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Beiti Be'Rahman, Tzomech Noflim Ve'Oveh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Mechaye Emunatov, V'Shemei Afar, Michamot Ha'adirot, U'Midom Melech, Melech Eid Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman Atah L'Chayot Beiti, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh Amen. Jump ahead to page 160. 160, and let's read together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Page 163, let's read responsibly in the English. For the good in us which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise.
For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being.
And on page 164, we close out the Amidah, as always, with the prayer for peace. In the evening, Shalom Ra. Page 253, one of the many prayers for healing. This one is Yishaberach.
Hunter,
Continued healing my cousin Arthur Clark. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, with those in need of healing, with Refuah shining on the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
Pages 258 and 259, the prayers of our community and our new board member. Elizabeth, how about the prayer for our congregation?
Source 12b, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love of Torah, devotion and prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levatcha b'yira na'avod. Charles, how about the prayer for our country?
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit.
Amen.
Amen. Shalom, Shalom Yerushalayim, Yishlayu Vayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper.
Amen.
Avinu Shabashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'Goalo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Ulatenu. Hagein Aleha b'Yefrach Chasdecha, Ufros Aleha Sukat Shlomecha, ושלח אורך ועמיתך לראשיה, שריה ויועציה, ותקנם בעצה טובה מלפניך, ונתת שלום בארץ, ושמחת עולם ליושביה, ונאמר Amen. Miranda, how about in English? The prayer for Israel.
O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there.
Amen. All right, friends, Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos.
Shabbat shalom, good Shabbos.
So I'll give you a choice tonight. I'll give you a choice, A or B. I have something written, so those of you who would report back, I have something written. But I'll turn it over and we can have an informal ask the rabbi. Anything that's on your mind about Judaism, Jewish life, or anything, just feel free to ask and I'll do my best to answer it. Or I can sing. Mike says I can sing, okay.
How about A?
A?
A, do the prepared?
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, I like
lots of people don't get a chance to ask questions.
That should count at 9:15 in the morning.
There you go.
As one who comes at 9:15 in the morning, yes. So you don't have to ask a question if you don't have one.
There you go.
You can save yours till tomorrow. Anybody? No questions? Okay, that's fine. So last week in Parashat Baha'alotecha, that's a mouthful. Baha'alotecha, when you go up to light the candles. The Parsha ended with Miriam and Aharon talking smack about their brother behind his back, about Moshe, right? Complaining that, well, what makes Moshe so special? Doesn't God speak to us as well? And to add insult to injury, Miriam questions Moshe's wife, right? She's a Cushite, right? The land of Cush is Ethiopia. She's African. She's probably darker skinned than Moshe and Aharon and Miriam. And so they're taking a kind of a pot shot at her. And they think nobody's listening. They're just talking smack. But God is apparently in the Torah, God is standing outside the tent listening to this. And then God calls them out on it. And Miriam is punished. She gets leprosy, so she has to leave the camp. And the punishment that Aharon has to suffer, a lot of people overlook it because they say, Miriam gets leprosy, what happens to Aharon? He's the one that has to declare her impure, escort her out of the camp, and she's only allowed back into the camp once the leprosy is cleared. So Aharon is put in I don't know if I would want the leprosy, but he's put in a position where he has to exile, in a sense, or put out of the camp one of the people that he's closest to. And he can only let her back in when he knows that she is leprosy free. So, but that's not the thing that I like. I don't want to talk about Aharon versus Miriam in terms of punishment, but the parsha this week, Shlach Lecha, which is ostensibly about the spies. A bunch of Torah commentators ask and they say, well, why is the thing with Miriam attached to the parsha, or right next to the parsha of the spies? And the rabbis say, well, the people saw what happened to Miriam with her slanderous remarks against Moshe, and she gets punished, and yet the spies come back and deliver a slanderous report about the land of Israel, and get the people all upset. And the people cry out and they murmur against Moshe and all that. And God says, you know what? You want something to cry about? You're going to wander in the desert for 40 years. And to add insult to injury, Tisha B'Av, which is the day that this apparently fell on, is going to be a bad day for you throughout the generations. So now we have the spies obviously didn't learn anything. So we have the Parsha with Miriam and Aharon. We have Shlach Lecha. These two are the beginning of a series of Parshiot that, while there's a lot of stuff going on in them, one of the main lessons from each of the following Parshiot is about how we use language. So we have Aharon and Miriam slandering Moses behind his back, out of earshot of everyone. So when we're sitting around and we're gossiping with our friends and we're going to say nasty things about Elizabeth, and not that I would ever say anything nasty about Elizabeth, and because she's not here, we don't know that maybe Mike is lurking somewhere and we'll say, hey, that's not nice. And it's not. But the lesson is, it's not about who with human ears is listening. God is always listening. And so if we're talking smack about each other, so then we come to the spies, and they go out and they say, oh, the land was filled with giants, the Nephilim, the giant angels, and the Anakim, just the giants, and the sons of the Anakim, and we looked like grasshoppers. We felt that we looked like grasshoppers, and so they must have seen us in that same way. And the punishment is, no. God promised Moshe, God promised Abraham, God promised Isaac, God promised Jacob that God would deliver us into the land of Egypt. And it doesn't matter if it's filled with giants, doesn't matter if it's filled with giant frogs, doesn't matter if it's filled with Reds fans. Reds fans. As long as they're not Boston. As long as that we would be able to conquer it. But they slandered the land. They said, no, we look like grasshoppers. We have no way of conquering them. And God says, yeah, but have you no faith? Then we have next week's Parsha, Korach. Korach and his merry band of malcontents. He has problems with Moshe. He thinks Moshe and Aharon have gone too far. They've hogged all the leadership. He wants to be a leader. He wants to have the power. He wants to point fingers at Moshe. Problem with Korach is he does it in a very public way and offers no solution. Yes, Moshe and Aharon have overstepped. They've gone too far. What's your plan, Mr. Korach? No, it's Moshe and Aharon. They've gone too far. Okay, what's your plan? No, it's Moshe's fault. And so Korach and his merry band of malcontents get swallowed up by the earth. The earth opens up its mouth and swallows them up. So we've had, I keep wanting to promotion in the mix. We have Miriam and Aharon talking amongst themselves, slandering Moshe, punishment for that. The spies come back and literally lie about the land of Israel, get the people all swept up, all head up about this, they get punished. Then you have Korach and his merry band of malcontents, opens his mouth, only sees problems, no solutions, only problems, wants to point fingers, embarrasses Moshe publicly, and the earth swallows him and his group up. Then the next week, on Parsha Chukat, Moshe gets himself into trouble. God tells him to strike the rock. God tells him to speak to the rock. Moshe, who is upset, his sister has died, the well has dried up, the people are upset, calls the people, you rebels, and strikes the rock, earning himself a seat at the I'm not going to get into Israel table. And he has to die in the desert. Then we skip a parsha where there's not a lot of words, except in Parshat Balak, we have the prophet Bilam who's supposed to curse Israel, and God won't let that happen, so Bilam could only bless Israel, which gets him in trouble with the king, Balak. And then the very next parsha, the last parsha of this whole series, we have the daughters of Zelophehad again. And they have a problem. They go to Moshe and they say, we have a problem. Our father, you remember our father, he was the guy that was caught gathering sticks on Shabbat and stoned because he did that. He died of his own sin, not our fault, his own sin. He didn't have any sons. He had 5 daughters. Sounds familiar, but you have a son. But they say, it's not our fault. We want our holding. Why can't we inherit? And they get what they want. Kind of, they get it ultimately, but they get what they want. Why? Why out of all of those examples do 5 women get what they want? Because they went about it the right way. They used their words correctly. They said to Moshe, we have a problem. They didn't just like Korach and say, we have a problem, it's you. No. They said, we have a problem, and here's the problem. Our father, Zelophehad, you know him, he was the one that got stoned gathering sticks. He didn't have any sons. Not our fault. But you say that we can't inherit. We want our ancestral portion. Everybody else is getting a piece of the land. Why can't we? And Moshe says, you know what? You're probably right. But I got to go and talk to God, because this is way above my pay level. Moshe goes and talks to God, and what does God say? He says, they're right. Give them what they want. Ultimately, God comes back and says, yes, they can do it. Then the old men clutch their pearls and say, but that's not fair. They're women. Why should they inherit? If one of those daughters from this tribe, whatever this tribe is, if they marry a Kohen from Levi, do they get to take the ancestral holding with them? Are you going to? No, it's not good for the Levites. If they marry somebody from Bnei Yisachar, if they marry a Yisacharite, do they get to take the land? Because if they take that land from there, they're giving another tribe more land, and that's not fair. Because all the tribes got an equal amount of land. So if the daughters of Zelophehad, the 5 of them, they can go out, and if they marry all from this other tribe, that tribe has now 1/5 of the land that belongs to another tribe. Moshe says, I got to go talk to God. Moshe goes and talks to God and says, okay, the daughters can inherit, but if they marry outside their tribe, they forfeit the land that would be theirs. So if one of the 4 daughters marries, 5 daughters marries outside the tribe keeps all the land. And the land isn't transferable. But they still, if they stay within the tribe, they inherit it. And the land is then theirs. So we have all these parshiot that are dealing with how we use language. And it's not something we can, when you hear people say, oh, it's just words. I was just saying, it's just words. That doesn't fly well in the Torah. It doesn't fly well with the rabbis. And the series, this whole point began with Moshe and Aharon, not Moshe, Miriam and Aharon. But it starts with individuals using language inappropriately. Then it goes to the group using language inappropriately. Then it's an individual with rebellion using language inappropriately. And then it ends with the leader, with Moshe getting called out because he uses language inappropriately. He calls the people rebels. He says he doesn't take what they're going through. They're afraid, they don't have water. Miriam has died, the well has dried up. And now he has to deal with that. And so he gets angry because they won't even let him warn his sister. But they're just chipping away at him. And so he reacts that way and he gets punished. He uses his words the wrong way. And so for the rabbis, these parshiot are incredibly important. Slander starts small. 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. But then it can grow and grow and grow. And it seems that no one learns the lesson. They know what happened to Miriam and Aharon. They saw what caused the problems with the spies. They saw what happened to Korach. They saw what happened to Moshe. And it's not until the daughters of Zelophehad who have a true gripe, but they handle it the right way. They don't embarrass anyone. They don't make a public display of whatever. They simply say, we have a problem, Moshe. Help us out. Here are the facts. What are we going to do? That's what we need to learn. Right? We see all of these punishments. We see these series of punishments, and they get significantly harsher. Miriam and Aharon, compared to what happens to the spies and the people who follow the spies, that's a slap on the wrist. What happened to the spies? They get to wander for 40 years. Compare that to what happens to Korach. He and his band of 250 get swallowed up by the earth. Look what happens to Moshe. The one who you would think would be the one who would not commit that sin. He gets punished by continuing to have to wander for 40 years, but right when they're set to go in, that's when he has to die, because he can look at the land, he can't go in. These examples are meant to teach us. These examples are meant to help us navigate the world. The question is, have we been paying attention? Shabbat shalom and good Shabbos. See, don't you wish you had got to ask the questions?
If only justice was so simple now.
It can be. Page 282. Oh, no.
No, Kiddush. I'm
Kiddush.
sorry, Kiddush.
Hidush. There we go.
We didn't have enough.
Vayhi er vayhi boker yom hashishi. Vayachulu hashamayim v'charetz v'chol tzevav. Vayachol Elohim bayom hashvi. Melachto asher asa, vayishbot bayom hashvi'i, melachto asher asa, vayishbot bayom hashvi'i, mikol melachto asher asa, vayevarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i, vayikadesh oto, givo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot. Safri. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon, inchilanu, zikaron b'maaseh bereshit, ki hu yom techila, Lamikra Kodesh, Zecher L'Tziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu Bacharta, V'otanu Kidashta, Mikol Ha'amim, V'Shabbat Kodshecha, V'Ahava Uvratzon, Inchatanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Now, page 282, we start closing out with Alleluia. Alleluia Shabbat Adonai, Ate Nulavio Serveishi, Shalom Sanu Fikoye Hakatso, Rilaho Salanu, Rishko Tadama, Shalom Sam Felkenu Nahem, Vego Rabenu, Keho Hamona, Vahanaflu Kori, Uritadabi Modi, Nikinele, Mahe Alani, Akadosh Baruch, Shemuel Teshamayim, Yosef Haaretz, Umoshe Yisrael, Bashamayim, Ushina Tuso, Biko Beberomi, Ueloheinu Eino, Eloheinu Epesulato, Kanatu Betorato, Yadatayo Behashivota, Elilah Becha, Ki Adonai Elohim, Hashamayim Bima, Yaharetz, Mitaha Eino. Kakatu B'Torah Adonai Yikoch Le'olam Ha'ed V'nemar V'haya Adonai L'melech al kol haaretz V'yom hahu Yihyeh Adonai echad U'shemo You may be seated. This week we observe the following yard sites. David Ritter, Rosemary's husband, Susan and Bob's father. Harold L. Herbert, Alice's husband, Father Renita, Ellen, Marilyn, Maury's uncle. Ben Botnek, Jan Cherto's father, Edward Greenwald, Diane Shattle's uncle, Herman Cohen, David's maternal grandfather, Al Elderman, son of Jack and Ann, husband of Rose and father of Ann Cohen, Matt and Lee Colker's uncle. Dolly Sampson Kahan, related to Fred Ziffer. Benjamin Siegel, Frida Kagan's uncle. Lillian Stiva Berger Frieden, Nick's mother. Alice Hartz Herbert, Maury Hartz's aunt, Hal Herbert's wife, mother of Ellen Anita Aller. Dr. Herman K. Poland, relative of Ronald Poland. Ella Schenker Ritter, David's wife. Pesach Weisberg, Art's father. Philip Weinberger, Richard's brother. Eric Stephen Hartz, infant son of Murray and Suzanne Hartz. Donna Bihar Schneid, Tori Butcher's sister. Edna Kauf, Etta Steinberg's mother. Louis Cohen, David Glick's uncle. Ben Kalman, Sharon Reed's father. Rose Mazes, Maury Hartz's great aunt. Isabel Strauss Silverman, Harold Strauss's sister. Dr. Charles G. Poland, husband of Mabel, father of Trish, Joan Weisberg's uncle, Yvonne Reefer, Jack Gottlieb's cousin, Gertrude Rose, Elaine Skoll's mother, Elsa May Hyman, Jack and Hyman's mother, Isaac Newton Schoenfeld, Francis's husband, Jane and Tony's father. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May their memories be a blessing to us all, and may they always rest in peace. Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yikadal Yikadash Me Rabba, Be'alman Yikach Yerute Yamlik Malchute, V'chayichon v'yomeichon v'chayei v'chol beit Yisrael v'agalav yizman karbi v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevrach le'olam olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei kedusha v'richu. Le'elam yikol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata damiran de'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shloma rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom v'broma hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. You may be seated. Shabbat shalom and good Shabbos. Hi, friends. Small group, but that's okay. We were a lively group. Toda rabah to our joyful Almond and her wonderful voice, and her keyboardist. Joyful Almond, of course, is Miranda. And
he came from a safari.
And Charles, fresh from the safari apparently, on the keyboard. Just a couple of quick announcements. Services tomorrow at 10 o'clock. But if you were paying attention to David, 9:15 for the Torah study, and apparently question time, which is always good. Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Sunday afternoon, yes. Hebrew, yes? This week, yes. One of my students is nodding yes. This week we have Hebrew at 1 p.m. on Sunday. And I think that's it. I don't think there's much else happening.
Yiddish choir on
Yiddish
Wednesday.
choir on Wednesday.
Yes.
I keep trying to remember that, David, and I forget. Thank you for reminding me. Yiddish choir on Wednesday.
Y'all come.
Yeah.
Y'all come, 7, right?
We're getting a good group. We're getting a big group.
All right, and that's it. That's it. We'll be back here next week, Friday at 6, and then next Shabbat morning at 9:15, 10 o'clock for services, and then next Sunday morning, also 9 a.m. If you're watching the NHL playoffs, that's apparently a really good series. If you're watching the NBA playoffs with the best team in all of basketball, the Knicks, that's a barn burner as well. Major League Baseball is not quite halfway done for the season yet, but it's coming up there. It's coming up there. And apparently the World Cup has started, or is starting as we speak. So, all right, let's close out on page 321. Page 321, Adon Olam.
When I could see the old
Donna Wilson sends us Shabbos greetings.
Donna Will said hello.
That's nice.
And good Shabbos.